Mike Piazza once shocked the baseball world. He was traded twice in 1 week. It was unheard of. At the time, he was the face of the Dodgers. So why would they give up their superstar? How did the Mets become his destiny? His story began in 1988. In the 62nd round of the draft, the Dodgers selected Mike Piazza, and everybody thought this pick was nothing but a favor to Tommy Lasorda, the legendary manager of the Dodgers. Nobody knew anything about Piazza. He was just some unknown catcher from a small college in the Northeast. But after 2 years in the minor leagues, he got called up to LA and made the opening day roster in 1990. Everyone saw him as just another player. They had no idea he'd soon become the brightest star in LA and one of the greatest players in baseball history. He made the All-Star team 5 straight times. He was on TV commercials. He even made a cameo on Baywatch. He was the biggest star in LA. But behind the scenes, things were changing. His teammates and the media started seeing him as self-centered. And in 1996, Piazza found himself in hot water. The Dodgers offered him a $76 million contract, but he rejected it. He wanted $105 million. The Dodgers said he owed them $100 million because they drafted him out of high school and gave up on their original plan to trade him. Piazza said he owed them nothing. He was going to free agency. And in May 1998, he was traded to the Florida Marlins. The trade was so shocking that Sports Illustrated named it the trade of the century. It included 3 other players and 4 prospects. But Piazza only played 5 games in Florida. It was a weird 5 days. And then he was traded again, this time to the New York Mets. It was just 1 week after being traded to Florida. The shockwaves went across the country. The Mets gave up their closer, John Franco, who immediately retired after the trade because the Mets gave his number, 34, to Piazza. And when he arrived in New York, the media frenzy was insane. The New York Post called it the second coming. One writer said, "Reggie Jackson came to New York in 1977, and that was a big deal. But this is bigger." But Piazza wasn't the savior. He was just a guy trying to hit home runs. In 1999, he helped the Mets reach the playoffs for the first time in 11 years. In 2000, he led the Mets to the World Series, where they faced off against the Yankees in the Subway Series. One game, Roger Clemens threw his bat at Piazza after he hit a home run. Clemens claimed he was trying to hit the bat on the ground. Piazza claimed he was trying to break his neck. No matter what you think, Piazza became the face of the Mets. The fans adored him, but the writers and the players hated him. He was both loved and hated at the same time. He was the king of New York. And in 2001, he hit one of the most important home runs in New York sports history. The Mets were playing the Braves on September 21, 2001, just 3 weeks after 9/11. The city was still in shock. No one really knew what to do. But when Piazza hit that home run, the crowd went insane. It was the second greatest moment in Shea Stadium history, only behind the 1986 World Series. This cemented him as more than just a great baseball player. He became a symbol of New York. He brought the city together. And sadly, it may have also been his last great moment. After that season, he broke Carlton Fisk's record for most home runs by a catcher. But the next few years his performance declined and his popularity declined with it. In 2005, he played his final game at Shea Stadium. When the crowd gave him a standing ovation, he tipped his helmet. In 2006, he played against the Mets and received another curtain call. He was booed heavily that night. He finished the season with the Padres. Then he played one last season with the A's in 2007 before retiring. Today, Piazza is a Hall of Famer. He was inducted in Cooperstown wearing a Mets cap. And all these years later, people still ask, was it destiny that the Dodgers let Piazza go so New York could embrace him? If you ask me, yes, it was. Now check out how the Yankees ruined this man's life or watch this video instead.